Welcome back, everyone. This video is a compilation of all the mammals in or very near Rocky Mountain National Park we viewed during our month-long visit. We're Steve and Kathleen. We're cruising America in our 35-foot fifth-wheel RV, chasing 70-degree weather year-round. If you'd like to watch our previous videos, please click the Cruising America playlist link in the description below this video. Otherwise, enjoy our current episode starting now. We spend a month in each destination area because we found that's how long it takes to complete our bucket list for each area. After spending 18 days in the park, we were able to capture 11 species of mammals on video. So without further ado, here are our sightings listed in order by the most video for each species. Moose are of greatest interest to us, mainly because we've had such a hard time finding them. During our first season, we drove all over the western U.S. and didn't see any moose until our last day in the Grand Tetons. The first sighting in Rocky Mountain National Park for us was just a flash. It was our first day in the park and we were just driving Trail Ridge Road. Unfortunately, there wasn't any place to park, so all we have is this video while passing. If you're looking for moose in Rocky Mountain National Park, there are several good locations on both sides of the park. The west side holds more moose, but weather, fires, and encroachment in the last few years have pushed some of the resident moose to the east side. While you can see moose anywhere in the park, the most likely places to see them on the east side are Sheep's Lake, Sprague Lake, and Falls River Road. In our opinion, Sheep's Lake is the best location. The moose around Sheep's Lake are pretty predictable. They come out of the willows in the morning and feed in Sheep's Lakes. Sheep's Lake is ideal for perfect, safe viewing of these big animals. If they do approach the parking lot, though, we recommend retreating to your vehicle. Our last sighting was while driving up Fall River Road. We saw this bull, cow, and calf together feeding in a meadow. Plus, this bull has a very respectable rack as opposed to the juvenile we showed you at Sheep's Lake. We saw plenty of elk all in the alpine zone. We saw them 3 times while touring the park. The first 2 times we saw them, they were relatively far away, but the last time we got lucky and caught the herd crossing Trail Ridge Road. The second time we saw the herd while hiking the Tundra Communities Trail at Rock Cut. These shots with the alpine mountains in the background are more unique than shots around woodlands. To us, it gives a true sense of how high up the elk are. During spring and fall, Sheep's Lake is also a primary location to watch the resident elk herd, though it's too hot for them midsummer. When they are there, it's common to see dozens or hundreds of elk feeding simultaneously. Elk are much more tolerant of humans, but you still don't want to get any closer than about 150 yards to them. Our third sighting was the most exciting and entertaining. We had driven Fall River Road up to the Alpine Visitor Center and were on our way back when we met up with the herd crossing Trail Ridge Road just above Forest Canyon. In some respects, this is the best way to see big game animals in national parks. We saw marmots in 4 sightings at 3 locations, all in the alpine zone, of course. Our first sighting was at Forest Canyon. These guys must have been fed in the past by visitors because it seemed they were just waiting for more food. Our second sighting was at Rock Cut. They were a little farther away and blended in very well with the rocks. The third sighting was back at Forest Canyon. These guys were really carrying on a conversation.
These guys real quick. Ooh, somebody. United World Kingdom.
He's yelling. National Geographic.
Yeah. Look at his head sneaking out over there. What is it?
Look at him. He's sitting.
Some little hedgehogs, groundhogs.
Groundhog.
Some rodent that's
Marmot.
very unhappy with his rodent friend.
Our last sighting was along Fall River Road, just shy of the Alpine Visitor Center. We weren't really looking for them because we see white-tailed deer every day on our property in Texas. We saw ducks in two locations, Sheep's Lake and Sprague's Lake. The Sheep's Lake ducks seemed to risk their lives while the moose were in the water. One of the moose chased the ducks as he left. Mama and the chicks were hanging out in Sprague Lake. It looked like Mama was teaching the kiddos how to groom themselves. We did see a bighorn sheep at Sheep's Lake, but couldn't get video. Probably best anyway, because it was a younger ram, possibly a yearling, and had a mangy coat. If you're lucky, you'll get to watch bighorn sheep as they graze. They drop down to the meadow out of the mountains to the east of Fall River Road, right in the area of the parking lot. We did see bighorn sheep, including rams, in two locations in Big Thompson Canyon between Loveland and Estes Park. These bulls were lounging at the bottom of the canyon only a half-mile from the dam store. I wonder what was going through their minds as cars and trucks whizzed by. Also, note how this guy rocks back and forth gently. I wonder if that's how they keep their balance. Even though they resemble a rat, Pika's closest relatives are hares and rabbits. You can tell you are looking at a pika because they don't have tails and their bodies are small and round. They prefer solitude, but will warn each other of nearby predators. While waiting for moose to show at Sheep's Lake, we caught these two coyotes hanging out in Horseshoe Meadow shortly after sunrise. Chipmunks are everywhere in the Colorado mountains, but they're nervous little critters and move around as much as squirrels and are therefore hard to photograph. We got this video while eating lunch at Bear Lake. While hiking Sprague Lake, we ran across these geese. They were surprisingly tolerant of humans, as even little kids getting close only prompted them to stand or walk a few feet. As a side note, be prepared to photograph animals from the time you leave your room until you get to the park. Estes Park warns drivers animals can be on or near any road at any time, and this is especially applicable around dawn and dusk. I shot this guy on Highway 36 between Estes Park and Rocky Mountain National Park at about 7 in the morning. This massive bull elk was grazing literally on the side of the pavement as cars whizzed by at 50+ miles an hour. I don't think he even blinked as cars drove by. Also, because he was just around a corner, I wouldn't be surprised if some drivers never saw him. A collision with an animal this size could potentially cause serious injury and total your car. We recommend entering Rocky Mountain National Park at the Fall River entrance because there is far less traffic and you'll get in much faster. Before leaving, visit the National Park Service's website for current conditions, safety, and weather. You also need a timed entry permit in addition to the entrance fee for the park. Click the link above for reservations. Rocky Mountain National Park has 2 timed entry pass classes, Bear Lake Corridor and Park Access excluding Bear Lake Corridor. Make sure you're selecting the access you want. If you didn't make timed entry permit reservations months in advance, you can always get one of the reserve spots the National Park Service makes available at 5 p.m. locally. Just go to recreation.gov. But don't dally. Tickets sell out in 5 to 10 minutes.